Call tonight's meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Braden. Here. Mirabella.
Here.
McCarthy.
Here.
Whitmore. Here. White.
Here.
Mayor Bruno.
Here. Please stand for tonight's invocation and pledge of allegiance. Tonight's invocation will be provided by Pastor Carlson from Grace Missionary Church.
Grace Church now. Taking out the middle name.
Okay.
You guys look even better on Thursday.
Grace
than you do on
Church.
Tuesday. Yes, you look really good tonight.
Thank you.
Let's pray. Thank you, God in heaven, for all your goodness, your grace to us. You're the giver of life. You're the sustainer of all that you've made. You're the lover of our souls. I thank you that you are the giver of every good and perfect gift, of whom we've received so many, and we thank you for that. Thank you, Father God, for the gift of community, one of your best gifts. I thank you, Father, for these folks. I thank you that we can live together and serve together and laugh together, do life together. I thank you, Father, for those who've been elected to lead us, Father, and lead us well. We thank you for that. May that continue. Thank you, Father God, for the things that will happen tonight. There's some special events and some appointments I see on the agenda. Thank you for those first responders who keep us safe, Lord, and we think about that tonight, especially as they're in the room. And thank you, Father, for the opportunity to move forward with better things, better plans, greater unity than ever before in the community that we call our home, and a community that you have blessed, our blessing, and by your grace will continue to bless. So I ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item, I need to make a correction on the minutes, the regular board meeting minutes. The very last page, a motion, it says trustee Weiss on here, it should be trustee Mirabella on number 17 and number 18 on the very last page. With that, I need a motion to approve the July 16th, 2024 regular board meeting minutes with the correction.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on that. Roll call, please.
Braden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the July 16th, 2024 closed session meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on that. Roll call, please.
Braden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye. White.
Motion carries. All right, we move on to mayor's report. I would like Tyler Howard come forward, please.
Tyler Howard is our newest lieutenant.
Yes.
He's going to get sworn in tonight. And we have a badge for you as well, if you'd like somebody to put it on. But you have to pass the swearing in first.
Yes, okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Tyler Howard,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Winter Harbor Fire Department,
the duties of the office of Winter Harbor Fire Department,
Lieutenant, according to the best of my ability.
Lieutenant, according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Lieutenant Howard.
I can't say enough good things about Tyler. He's been on the department a while, and he's a leader. Everybody looks up to him. There you go. And he runs our dive team, our water rescue operations, and he's a great person.
You could have got away with it.
A lot of witnesses here.
Plenty of people to rescue.
Well, the next guy in the lieutenant is here.
I need a motion to approve the resolution appointing, I didn't do that yet, appointing the oath of office, Tyler Howard as lieutenant within the fire department.
So moved.
Roll call.
Braden. Mirabella. McCarthy. Whitmore. White.
Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the resolution dedicating the Lions Pond and Pier.
So moved.
Right. Roll call.
Braden. Mirabella. McCarthy. Whitmore. White.
I'd like the Lions Club to come forward. Maybe Woody, maybe everyone.
Come on up, all of you.
Come all up.
Come on, Hayden.
Regina, you go up and I'll.
I'm going to read the resolution to everyone. Resolution dedicating Lions Pond and Pier. Whereas the Winthrop Harbor chapter of the Lions International is an active club that has been a pillar of the community for many years. And whereas the members of the Lions Club have donated time and again to worthwhile causes in our village, often without public thanks, and most often through a simple sense of civic mindedness and desire to help fellow citizens. And whereas the Lions Club has recently installed a new pier at the pond on Village Park for the benefit of all the citizens and visitors in this community, all at the club's expense. And whereas the generosity of the Lions Club continues to provide tangible and significant benefits to the entire community through its quiet dedications of time, money, and work, with no end in sight and no outright request for recognition. And whereas the mayor of the village board wishes to express their deep appreciation for everything done by the Lions over the years, and particularly this significant gift. And now therefore be it resolved by the village of Winthrop Harbor, Lake County, Illinois, as follows. Section 1. The pond and fishing pier located in Village Park is hereby dedicated to the honor of the Winthrop Harbor chapters of Lions International, where it shall stand testament to the good work of dedicated citizens seeking to help this beautiful community. Section 2, the Recreation Department is directed to secure appropriate signage to properly identify Lions Pond and Pier within Village Park. The expense of the same to be approved by the mayor and administrator. Section 3, the Lions Club is thanked for its historic and present generosity. May it continue to serve as an example to all of the good nature of mankind. Section 4, this resolution shall be in force, full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication as required by law. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to have a few words. This is Lion Regina, my wife, Lion Hayden, Lion Jean, and I'm Woody. Lion Woody, I am the president of the Lions Club. It's been a very great honor to work with Mayor Bruno, Scott Fuller. It took a long time to get this pier in, but it's done, and I hope you enjoy it all. And secondly, we sure could use some of you people to come out and help us in bingo, become a Lion, and find out what we're actually about. Thank you all. Mayor, that's it. Thank you very much.
Hey, Woody, when do you meet for a Lions Club?
The second Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. Stone
Okay,
Creek
give me some information, I'll join.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Another hat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we could use any members that want to join us.
All right, move on to item 3. I need a motion to approve the resolution for Swalco appointing Dave Alacon as a director to the board.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Braden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Wade.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 4, I need a motion to approve the resolution with Swalco appointing Alana Whitmore as a alternate director to the board.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Okay, roll call?
Braden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. Wade.
Aye.
Motion carried. I'd like to thank Alana for offering to be the alternate. Thank you. Dave asked me to move the village administrator report to the end, so we'll move on to, actually, I have a couple other things I want to say under mayor's report. There was a community block party held on August 17th where we had to close part of Sheridan Road. It was a great success. Would like to, the businesses came together to hold a block party with all the, all the people, all the residents. Thanks to Harbor Cafe and Living Folk Kombucha for organizing this event. It was, I've gotten a lot of feedback about the road being closed, but it was positive because they enjoyed the event. So they asked me if it was going to be held next year. I said, well, from what I've been told, it's going to be held and it's going to hopefully be bigger than this year. So, as we said at the meeting. So thank you very much for all that you did. The Family Day at Village Park. I'm not even sure what day that is, Scott. September?
The 14th.
14th, thank you. I couldn't find it, but I did probably look at the right spot. It incorporates Touch a Truck, the music from the band that we had to cancel during summer fair due to the weather coming through, and also the fireworks. And that will start at what time?
3 p.m.
Okay.
till 10 p.m.
Thank you. Then, Mayor's Prayer Breakfast is going to be held on Labor Day, September 2nd, at 8 a.m. over at the high school in the cafeteria, South Cafeteria. If you'd like to have tickets, I have some. And then on November 9th, 2024, to Saturday, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., will be a spaghetti dinner to benefit Winthrop Harbor Police Department and getting some equipment. So I have tickets for that as well. So that's all I have. I wanted to say all of that. So we'll move on to new business, committee reports, administration and community development committee. Trustee McCarthy.
What about the village administrator's report?
No, you're going to move that till last.
Oh, till last, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Did
Yes.
you say that already?
Yes.
I'll sit if I'm listening. Gave it away there. Sorry about that. Let's see here. I'd like to make a motion to award $500 Winthrop Harbor Scholarship to Michaela Guyman.
Second.
This is from the, she was the Miss Winthrop Harbor for the 2019-2020 year, and that was the year that we were still doing the scholarship for the community pageant. We had not given that check that year.
We've done that year after year, correct?
Right, and that was when we were still doing it.
Right. Okay. Any questions on that item? Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Are you okay with the roll? No, Dana?
Mhm.
Okay, roll call.
Braden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Wade.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I was just testing attorney law in there, so I'm going to go back and make a motion to approve the accounts payable warrant 2024-4 in the amount of $475,642.65.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the warrant? Okay, roll call.
Braden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Wade.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Make a motion to approve the hiring of a part-time special projects administrative assistant.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Make a motion to approve the wage policy.
That has to be, that's an ordinance.
Make a motion to waive the first and second reading and the rules of the board and the rules of the president and board trustees, and to adopt as read the wage policy.
Second.
All right, any discussion on wage policy item? Roll call.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Motion carried.
What about this one? Normal one?
No, it's just
Okay. Just checking. I make a motion to approve a request for relief from municipal code section 155.05, permitted fences specific to 1020 Monroe Avenue only.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Most of our neighborhood over there signed it, and there's, I've seen a bunch of signatures, and if you look at them, where it is, I would want to do it, so.
Yeah. No, I know what, I know the property, what they're going to do, so. All right, roll call.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And make a motion to approve reimbursement of expenditures to Mark and Lisa Solberg and to Peter and Bogda Kirkowitz in the amount of $1,500 to be divided evenly between them.
Second.
Okay, motion second, any discussion?
It's unfortunate that it's happened, I'm sorry they had to go through all that, but I think we owe it to them, since we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Thanks for having patience with that.
Took a while, but we got it.
It's all right.
All right, roll call.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, trustee McCarthy. We move on to public safety, trustee White.
Thank you. I make a motion to approve the purchase of a UTV and trailer from Nielsen Enterprises. The cost is $26,588.98. It was funded by Winthrop Harbor Fire District donation plus a picture fundraiser, and will be paid out of the fund code 02-5203.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? What's that trailer gonna be used for, Rocky?
So the UTV is the ATV basically now.
Oh, to put the ATV in.
It's gonna replace our current ATV, and a trailer will be included with it. The current one's just very old and exceeds it doesn't exceed some of the safety features that they have now. And it'll be a lot more versatile. This new one's gonna have tracks on it to get through the sand down at the beach, which we've gotten stuck a few times already this year. The tracks should help with that. And our responses down to the lake, whether it be in Beach Park, Winthrop Harbor, or Zion, because we respond on them all, have exponentially went up this year. So this will be a great tool funded by the Winthrop Harbor Fire District and some of the fundraisers that we've had. So it's no village tax funds going on the project.
I know the Winthrop Harbor Fire Protection District had given us some money, but I didn't know if it was all.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, chief. Any other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Make a motion to accept the Village of Winthrop Harbor siren activation policy.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, any comments?
Mayor.
Glad this is gonna be done.
Well, this is part of a much larger process.
Okay.
Right now, the fire department is working on our updating our emergency response plan.
Right.
And this is one of the policies that's going to be incorporated.
Okay.
That should be coming to the board within the next few meetings.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Roll call.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to approve a request to sign the agreement with Axon Enterprise Incorporated for the renewal of our fleet camera system, in-car cameras, for another
another 5 years. Financial impact is a total of a cost of $115,977.46, which is a yearly payment of $23,195.49.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? Now, this is on the budget, correct, Dave? Since we do this every year?
It's the yearly, yes.
Yeah, 5 years, okay. Okay, roll call?
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to approve the purchase of ammunition from Outdoorsman for the police department duty use, cost of $5,205, which will be paid out of forfeiture fund.
Second.
Second.
All right, discussion on that. Roll call?
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore. White.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, trustee Weiss. We move on to Public Works and Recreation, trustee Marvell.
Are we gonna do the presentation first, or we're gonna go to two? We do a presentation.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
It's just how it's listed, so.
All right, as you guys know, we've taken on one of the largest projects this village has ever done with this water meter replacement program. We've invited Mark Seifert back from Baxter and Woodman to give us an update on the presentation of where we're at and what we've accomplished and where we're headed. Mark, it's all yours.
Thank you, Tim. Good to see you all again. With me tonight is Jack Worsham. He's part of my meter team, so he'll be doing a little bit of presentation tonight. But wanted to come back, this board approved our contract to start looking at meter replacement and then how we're going to pay for that. So tonight we'll go through some of the steps we've gone through and also have a discussion about how to properly fund water meter replacement. So what we're going to have, we're talking about the process of selecting a meter manufacturer. Then we're going to talk about the selected manufacturer to let the entire board know who we selected and why we selected them. The financial impacts, and then of course any questions you all may have. If you remember my presentation from last time, please stop me with any questions mid-sentence. I am more than okay with it. So, what we did was our team reached out to 3 major meter manufacturers in Illinois. There are really only 3 meter manufacturers across northern Illinois. They are represented by 3 different companies. We brought them in, and myself, Debbie, David, and Tim, along with my team, we all interviewed each manufacturer. And it wasn't only about their product, but it was about how their relationship with the village is going to be, not only during this project, but for the next 20 years. It's very important that, Tim and his staff have a comfort level with the meter that they're working on, with the meters that are being installed, and Debbie definitely has a comfortability with the software that's being used to read these meters and then bill the customers. Lastly, we also looked at the costs. Obviously, this is, as Tim mentioned, this is the largest project in Winthrop Harbor's history, so there is a major cost component to this as well. So I'm going to hand over to Jack to talk about the meters and their manufacturer, and then I'll come back up to the financial aspects.
All right, so the 3 different manufacturers that we had represented by their respective companies were Badger, Sensus, and Neptune. Like Mark was saying, these are the 3 major meter manufacturers. They're a little bit different in their application and the products that they have. So we had them come in and interview. We also had them provide quotes based on what Winthrop Harbor needs. So just a couple of very high-level comparisons between them. Badger exclusively uses for collecting their data. They piggyback off of existing cellular networks. So they don't use any actual physical infrastructure for their processes. They do have a very accessible user interface, which is part of what we considered. And cost-wise, they were in the middle of the 3 that we looked at. Sensus, one of the highlights for them is they have a specific FCC licensed communication. They have a frequency that belongs exclusively to them. They have the strongest existing relationship with the village. The village already has over 100 of the newest version of the Sensus meter installed, has a relationship with the distributor for Sensus, and of the 3, they were the lowest in cost. And then the third one is Neptune. They use a non-exclusive radio communication, and they were the highest of the three. So ultimately, we did select Census to be the meter that we are going to use, and their sole provider in Illinois is Core & Main. So do a quick overview of Census, Core & Main, and then the products that we've selected for the village. So Census is a global water, gas, and electric meter manufacturer. They've been around for over 100 years. They've installed over 1,300 fixed-based automatic metering infrastructure, or AMI systems, which is what we've selected for the village. They've deployed over 45 million smart points, which is the radio transmitter that I'll get into here briefly, across North America. And they have 4 dedicated sales and technical assistance associates here in Illinois and in southern Wisconsin. Core & Main is the exclusive distributor of Census products in over 20 states, including Illinois. They have the representatives that the village will be working with directly for the installation of these products and for future maintenance. They have 6 branches in Illinois, including 4 in Chicagoland, so they are out of St. Charles, Mokina, Lake Bluff, and Belvedere. They have a dedicated local salesperson as well as 2 local AMI product support people.
Excuse me. With that AMI, what hertz are they running at? They have 150, 200, 500 through the census.
Do you know off the top of your head what the...
Which hertz, I do not know which one they're running.
Would you guys be putting one single tower in the area where
So right,
nobody up to each other, each meter will read each other's meter if you can't get a signal?
so what we have, what we're doing is, right now, once this passes tonight, or hopefully passes tonight, or we get approval, Census will actually run a radio survey to see, one thing about Census is they guarantee 99% readings of their meters.
So with that being said, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I work for the gas company.
Okay, all right.
So I've dealt with a lot of this, you know.
So I'm not sure exactly.
We're still going over the you know, we've been doing it for many years.
I'm not sure which hertz they're running on the meter side, on the water side. That's a great question.
So
Maybe
usually MTI will come in, work as their product provider to get, they'll set them up at like 150, 100, 150.
Yeah.
Then they'll wake them all up.
Yeah.
At one time, they all pretty much go to 500.
These will start waking up as soon as they're installed, one at a time.
Okay. Yeah, they'll just wake them up.
Mark, when you said that they're gonna come, once it gets approved, they're gonna do
A radio survey, so
to
they'll,
determine if they need 1 tower or 2 towers.
absolutely, Mayor. So they'll determine how many towers, and then it's a propagation study, where they then say, all right, there's 1 tower at Public Works that's needed, and it will cover the entire city. They'll show all the meters, and then that is your guarantee as the village. If ever your reads fall below that 99% rate, it is on Census's cost to make it 99%. If that needs another tower, that cost is on them. So it's the guarantee they give you by giving their product, and it's their guarantee with their propagation study.
Okay, thank you.
Once we begin this, our infrastructure that we have in place right now is guaranteed to support this. We have the one at Public Works, the hose tower here, and the one down at Patrol Ops. So we are covered for them to install on there.
Whichever of the 3 is best.
Right.
If they're gonna look they have experts who look just at the radio signals to say, all right, this one's best at whatever it is, that is well outside a lot of people in the water wastewater industry's scope and knowledge, so that they are experts in that.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
So this is still just kind of the overview. This is just a list of different communities and utilities that Census and Core & Main have worked with on this AMI solution. They've gone all the way from over 2 million meters per NICOR all the way down to less than 1,000 in a few pretty small communities. So as far as it actually works, their solution at the building level, you have the actual meter, then you have the radio transmitter or the endpoint. That will then go to that tower gateway base station, which is where all that information gets collected. And then that goes then into the network that gets used on the village end. far as the actual products themselves, this is the iPearl meter. This is kind of the small meter that Census has. One thing to highlight, unlike any of the other meters in the industry, they have a 20-year warranty on these meters. It's full warranty for 15 years and then partial warranty for 5. Everywhere else has 10 full and 10 partial, so that's unique. And then they also guarantee full accuracy for 20 years.
And they came in at the lowest.
Yes. Then the water smart points, those are the radio transmitters. That is what takes the information from the meter itself and then transmits to the base station. These also have the 15 years of full warranty and 5 for partial. These have a number of alarms associated with them. So we will get into that here.
Now, if somebody's checking the water meter, how, they'd have to come up to that
No.
pad?
No.
No, just out in the street?
Are you asking how to read the meter?
Yeah.
How comes the?
Okay, through the computer.
Debbie does it. She goes like that, and she reads the meter.
Goes to the tower.
Yep, goes to the tower and goes right to Debbie's computer.
I just want to clarify.
Yep.
And if something does happen to that tower, if there's a storm or something like that, these can be read in a drive-by, so you would just need to get somebody in a car to drive around and collect that information until you can restore that tower. And these things, they'll read automatically to the tower if it's up, they'll switch over to drive-by if it's not.
Good point, never thought about that without a storm. Okay.
And then on the village's end, there's Census Analytics, so there's a lot of different stuff here, but basically this allows for a lot of information to be seen on the village's end about usage. It allows for the village to notify residents if there's a leak or any unusual activity, and to just for record keeping as well. It's just an overview again of Census. Core and Main are the provider. They're very, very experienced. They have over 75 AMI customers. The FlexNet AMI network, we're very familiar with it. It's very, very user-friendly on the utility end. And like I said, there is an existing relationship there between the village and Census. There's already close to 150 iPearls in the system. That relationship is there. We have a lot of confidence in this provider.
And I think the one thing, Jack, that you didn't really touch on, but I really want to hammer home is the reason we started this project is because of the water loss. And with the amount of water loss that's happening right now, the amount of data that Debbie and Tim and staff are going to get is really going to help us pinpoint where those problem areas are. One really nice thing that is part of Census Analytics is we can set up zones of the city to say, on an average day, this neighborhood uses 50,000 gallons. Well, all of a sudden they're using 75,000 gallons, which is an exact alarm to Tim saying, all right, we need to get over there and check it out because something's going on. We're losing water somehow. If it's in December, nobody's filling up a pool for 25,000 gallons, right? So the amount of data that Debbie will get daily, Tim will get daily, is really remarkable. So the big question is, what's the cost? You know, that's number one question, number one. To purchase all of the water meters and MXUs is $875,000. The installation costs are around $550,000. The communications, that would be the towers and the base station, is $112,000. We are including a payment to the Lake County Public Water District for past payments for their costs going up. And anytime we have a project like this, we do add contingencies in. And those contingencies are to cover if a meter doesn't have a grounding strap, if a ball valve breaks, if any number of things happens while in the field, and you guys want to get these meters changed out, that's what this covers. Also, we are taking information from a lot of these meters. Nobody knows what type of meters they are, what age they are, what size they are. So there may be some larger sizes in the field that no one knows about, so we have some money built in there. So this is a total cost of $1.6 million. How are we going to pay for this? How do we pay for it? The nice thing to start off, to bring the cost down immediately, is is the village has $350,000 in ARPA funds that will be used to help pay for the first year. That $350 will pay for the first year while we build up fund balance to start paying for year 2 and 3. So we're gonna look at the current rate structure. I have 3 options for you of how to fund this, and then you guys would select an option, direct the village attorney to draft an ordinance and get this into place with a rate increase hopefully on January 1. So current revenues and rate structure, the debt service fee right now is $27 per bill, and the volumetric rate is $6.33 per 1,000 gallons. So for an average, I know there is no average in water billing and there is no average in commercial, so we picked out three bills that one's a home, one's a business in town, and then we picked an average senior rate. The average resident's around $130, $135. This particular commercial that we're basing off of is $1,293 a quarter, and then the average senior's about $77.
There's no different pricing for seniors?
It's a discount.
Okay.
There is the 10% water discount.
Okay.
So it's not a different tier or a rate, it's just a discount. So option 1 is to add $8 per quarter to that debt service to take it from 27 to 35. Also raising the volumetric rate from 633 to 956 per 1,000. Lastly, for option 1, we don't recommend, we're giving you the option of a 3% volumetric rate increase per year. Currently, as many of you know, the village has not raised rates. You did a couple years ago, 2017, but then previously
last year was 2007, or last year, then 2017, 2008, and then
before Tim was born.
Between 1992 and 2007, it was not raised.
Yeah, so twice since I've been on the board, and I've been screaming that we needed to do this since I've been on the board, and no one wants to vote to do it.
To those points, we're recommending a 3% volumetric rate increase yearly. That 3% covers inflation, salary increases, cost increases. If everybody in this world knows what's happened over the last 4 years, if your rates hadn't gone from 17 to 21, you guys absorbed a lot of those costs in 19, 20, 21. And now from 21 to 24, you're absorbing those rates here. So we suggest a 3% increase yearly to keep up with all of those things that continue to increase. Option 2 is $10 an additional debt service fee per quarterly bill. And then by going up that $2, we do decrease the volumetric from 633 to 940. It was 956 in option 1. So just a little balancing of either the for sure money in the debt service or the you pay what you use, you pay for what you use in the volumetric. This one also has the 3% as well. Option 3 is a little different strategy. This is for the 3 years of the project of changing meters out. We would add a $49.49. Feel free to change it to $49.50. It personally kills me that it's $49.49, but that's my ADD kicking in. Additional per user per quarter. And then once this project is paid for, go down to $10 additional. So go from 27 to 76, back down to 37. And the reason I say go back down to 37, not down to 27, is because there is additional capital that needs to get replaced in Winthrop Harbor. The meters are the tip of the iceberg. As we talked about in the rate study, in the water meter presentation, and the water loss presentation, we have to put the meters in to track how much water is actually being used. And once we do that and revenues increase, then there's water main that needs to be replaced. There's sewers that have to be lined, all right? There's hydrants that need to be replaced. So that $10 increase is going to start building a fund balance that Public Works and the Public Works Committee can start actually using that money to start funding some of these infrastructure projects. You know, as we look at the infrastructure needs in Winthrop Harbor, you know, a lot of years has gone where water mains not being replaced, sewer mains aren't being relined. So we have to get these meters in to kickstart revenue and kickstart water loss coming down, but then we have to maintain, we have to start upgrading. So that 3% increase covers the O&M. That really covers staff, it covers salaries, it covers insurance, it covers all of that. That debt service fee increase is really starting to kickstart the capital needs. So I do have a summary. Currently, I'm only looking at this sheet as residential, not to muddy get it all confusing. So we're only looking at residential here. Option 1, the average resident goes to $207 per quarter. Option 2 is $208 per quarter, and option 3 is $184 per quarter. Truthfully, this is your decision. We're trying to set the future of Winthrop Harbor in a direction to maintain infrastructure. As we look at neighboring rates, a lot of the communities we're going to show have newer infrastructure. You know, I look up here, and Winthrop Harbor established 1901. 1901, probably the infrastructure, a lot of it was placed in the 50s and 60s, maybe 70s. And every time I present to a board, I always get somebody say, oh, we just replaced that water main in 1970. And I say, that was 50 years ago. That's the lifespan of water mains around 50 years. So all the main that was replaced that was put in prior to 1970, it's past its lifespan. So Tim and his staff is keeping them together with Band-Aids and baling wire. So that as we start to jump off into the future, we want to make sure we have a healthy fund balance to continue to work on infrastructure. So we want to look at neighboring rates. Number 1 being Zion. Their debt service fee is $38.80. So that's partly how we started with that $8 and that $10 increase to stay very similar to your neighborhood. They're at $38. If you chose the $8, you go to $35. If you chose the $10, you go to $37. And then their volumetric rate is $9.70. Talking to Tim, Debbie's staff, they're jumping their volumetric rate up in the lower teens next year. You guys are just going into the $9 range where they're at currently. None of these rates show the neighboring communities increases. Unfortunately, I don't have the crystal ball to know what they're all going to do next year. I just know Zion from talking to Tim and staff. But looking at other communities who, you look like a Bannockburn, their minimum for a quarter is $3.06. That's pretty on top of it. You guys were looking at $1.80, $2.08. So I do want to just, do you have a question?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How many of these are have switched over to smart meters?
That is a great question.
All of them have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody that's switching meters today, standards, are switching to some type of AMI. Zion will finish their project in the next year or two, and they'll have their entire city. Beach Park is already on 100%. Bob, you might know about Waukegan. I think most of them they might still have some radio reads.
There's a lot of old stuff over there, too.
A little bit.
So to your point, trustee, if people are switching meters, they're going to smart meters. I don't know on this list who's 100% on, 100% off. That's something we can definitely look into for you. I think Tim would probably have the best number of knowledge on that. So on top of the water rates increase, there is a ton of sewer projects, like I mentioned. The current base charge for sewer is $21.10, and that's for the first 5,000 gallons. After that, it's 84 cents per 1,000 gallons. I could not find anybody else near that rate. The proposed sewer rates that we're looking at to start funding these sewer projects is jumping the base rate from $21.10 to $22 flat for the first 5,000 gallons. The volumetric rate for every 1,000 gallons after would be $1.50. The same yearly 3% increase. And then Winthrop Harbor does have a lot of sewer-only accounts. And how a sewer-only account works is that account is paying only $21.10 for as much water, as much sewer as they can use. They're not metered, they don't have a water count, so it is a sewer only. So if they use 5,000 or they use 5 million gallons, they're at 2110. So to get them to either get a water meter or to pay their fair share, we suggest to increase that to $45 flat. That's roughly 2 times what your residents who are paying a water and sewer bill are paying. So.
You're saying if they got a well, you just want them to meter their well, that's not gonna happen.
No, but also the amount of people who have well only, and they should pay their fair share for the sewer.
I understand with that, just people aren't gonna want that.
All right. So, I'm happy to answer any questions. I know, sorry.
Can we take a few steps back?
Ooh.
Because I think it's just very important, since this is such a big decision and such a big investment, that how do we get to this point? Can you talk about the first steps that we did? Can you just talk a little bit about that water loss study?
Yeah.
And just incrementally, how are we getting to this point where we have to make this decision?
Yeah, absolutely. I apologize, Ron, for all that history. So, I'll go way back. Since Winthrop Harbor gets their water from Lake Michigan, you are under a Supreme Court mandate called the 7 States Compact that requires that Illinois is the only state that pulls water out of Lake Michigan and does not put it back in. You go across the border, every drop that comes out of Lake Michigan has to go back in Lake Michigan. All right? Illinois, because of the reversal of the Chicago River and yada, 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 only state that takes out only. So the Illinois Department of Natural Resources is tasked to maintain that only 3,450 cubic feet per second of water leaves Lake Michigan through Chicago or anywhere. So what the Illinois Department of Natural Resources has decided is that no community who gets Lake Michigan water shall have non-revenue water of more than 10%. So that means if you take all the water that you take out of Lake Michigan and all the water you sell, that percentage cannot be less than 90%. So you have to be billing at least 90% of all the water you take out. Currently, Winthrop Harbor's about, let me do the quick math, 67%. So every 100 gallons that you guys take out of Lake Michigan, you're only billing for 67 of it. We've looked at water main breaks. Our firm looked at everything in Winthrop Harbor, from main breaks to hydrants. There's no smoking gun. The smoking gun is the age of the meters. It's really the age of the meters. And like I mentioned when I came the first time is, as water meters age, they're like our body. They slow down. When a meter gets older, it doesn't overbill. It doesn't speed up. It slows down. So some of these meters, and talking to Debbie and Tim, some of these meters, we don't have age on. You saw that the warranty from Census is 20 years. They're guaranteeing that their water meter will read accurately for 20 years. And accurately, according to the AWWA, is 98.5% to 101.5% of the read. They're guaranteeing 20 years, so the lifespan of that meter is 20 years. So for the meters that are 40, 50 years old, they're not reading correctly. The fact, talking about some of the technology upgrades is, Tim sends a guy out 3 days a month to get water reads. That's now 3 days he has for his staff. Because they're not going out reading 3 days once we have the system in place. So, it started a long time ago with the 7 States Compact and the IDNR, but you guys went through, sorry, the clock was. You and Winthrop Harbor are really starting to now get to the forefront by making this step and changing your meters out. And it's a necessary step because, in all honesty, the IDNR does not let you be at 33% for long. Because if you look at the news and you look at, well, we know because we're in the industry, but more and more communities are starting to get on Lake Michigan water. You see it's going to be going out to Montgomery, Oswego, and Yorkville, way out past I-47. They're going to be using around 40 million gallons a day in Joliet and that surrounding area. Lake Michigan, the water use is spreading, so anybody who currently has it they're tightening the grip and tightening the grip and tightening the grip. So getting that from 33 down to 10 or below is part of IDNR, but the other thing is, for you, any water that you're giving to your residents, you want to bill for it. You want to accurately track how much water is being used and how much water is being sold. Is that?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Sorry.
And just if I could add just a few more things.
Absolutely.
Number one, of course, it's a huge expense, but the timing is right. Currently, we have ARPA funds that we can use towards this project.
Absolutely.
Which is going to defer some of the cost, some of the impact to the residents. The other thing that we also need to keep in mind is that tax dollars do not fund our water system. It's all funded by user fees. So as much as this expense is, the timing is right because there's $350,000 on the table that we can use to offset. Right now, currently, a meter costs about how much?
A meter is $150 to $160, and MXU is $130, and to install it is around $200. So a total grand cost of $500 to $550 per household.
So as part of this process, currently, the residents own the water meters. As part of this process, what we would like to do is when the meter exchange starts, that the village will pay for that water meter, but will also take ownership of the new water meter. And part of that service fee will be hopefully accumulated in an account. So in the next 15 or 20 years, when we come up with another exchange cycle, there should be funding available in order for us to fund it. So upfront, there will be no financial impact to the residents.
Question for you, for the sewer-only users, that flat fee, what is that billing cycle? Is that like an annual, or is that just across the board, one-time fee?
That's
Quarterly like ours. It just, if you're on a well and you got septic, it's all free, but if you're on a well and you have sewer, because they can't tell how much volume you have, it's just a flat fee. So that's all they're saying. But he was saying that they could tell if people are willing to put a meter, which numbers they want. So it's just a flat fee, and then they're saying just bring it up because it could either be used real little or a lot, and then it's just trying to make the happy medium.
Yeah, and it's a great point. Thanks for reinforcing that. It's when you can't meter, it's not saying that people aren't trustworthy or anything. It's more of the fact that we want to make sure that the resident who doesn't have a meter is paying a fair share.
Just for the sewer.
Yeah, just for the sewer.
And like if you it's not that, but like my dehumidifier in the garage I have, sometimes I'll dump it that way. That's not being metered because it's just taken out of the air pipes, a couple gallons. Same principle there. You just can't tell.
I just wanted to point out or to clarify that since the village would take ownership of the meters, that the residents wouldn't be charged for a rental fee or something to that degree.
That is 1,000% accurate. If you all agree that with this project and with the change of the ownership of the meter, then no, there would not be a rental fee, there would be a lease fee. It is village property, and the first question that comes to my mind as former public works director is, well, what stops the resident from tampering with it? As part of the ordinance that you hopefully write, there will be anti-tampering rules that if it is tampered with, there would be some sort of adjudication through whatever process is used here in Windsor Harbor, whether it be the police department, building department, whatever it is, to make sure that if the meter is tampered with, then there would be some sort of repayment from the resident who did tamper with it. That is, one of the biggest thing with ownership by the village is if people don't, if there's a lot of crawl spaces or unfinished basements in the wintertime, if it gets below 32, Debbie would get there's actually a thermostat in the water meter, and if it gets down below 40, Debbie will get an alarm. So then let Public Works or that you guys can call and say, hey, do you have an unfinished basement? And then put it in the fact of, if it does freeze and break, it's the homeowner's responsibility.
Right now, it's a $500 fine if you are caught.
So you already have that in place, and I've seen them, probably, I'm guessing that the limit is 500. in the department, are you $750?
No, it's, well, the statutory limit that we can charge on any fines is $750. That hasn't changed since 1970. I think 75 when the
Yeah.
new.
So that, I've just seen communities, make it a theft. If somebody were to remove the meter, that could be theft. So it all depends on how you guys wanna write it, there's 1,000 different ways out there. I'm here to help with any ordinance or any questions you guys have.
Sorry. Can people choose their billing cycle?
No.
It has to be quarterly?
That's what I was gonna ask about too.
Because
That
if
is-
we're now asking someone to pay $250, $300 extra a quarter, what if they wanna have that broken up monthly or?
Yeah, 'cause
If I can interject here,
Quarterly
just
billing.
a quick question. With that question, the conversation has really already begun. If we do change to this, if we have this technology of the AMI where we're literally reading the meters every single day, then I would be a proponent to change to a monthly cycle. That way, you're not getting a $200 bill, it actually becomes smaller.
I think that's gonna help the communication on this quite a bit, is now you're not having a lump sum quarterly.
Yeah, that is not, the meter can do it, that's more of a staff.
Okay.
Right,
Staff
we're gonna
time.
my thought process on this is getting through this part, getting this part going, and then continuing the discussion with the board about what policy changes do we wanna make. We obviously can't do it until we get all of them in, or we hire somebody to read meters, 12 days a month instead of 3 days a month. But I think that absolutely is something that needs to be discussed and needs to be researched further.
Besides the meter, what is the additional debt service really cover?
The installation, the MXU,
And that's it?
the communication, so the tower being installed, and then there is just the software fee, the yearly software fee. It's the meter, the MXU, the installation, the one payment to Lake County, and then you would just have the software, yearly software, and then the antenna being installed.
And it does help create our fund balance, that since I've been here, we don't have a fund balance in the water account, we run even for the last 10 years.
See, one of my major concerns is the infrastructure that we do have with our water mains and how old they are. And to me, deferred maintenance means it's gonna be more cost in the future.
Which is exactly why we want this fund balance, because I literally just looked it up.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Our water sewer master plan that we did in 2022, it literally, it's recommending $20 million of infrastructure improvements over the next 10 years. So that's what we talked about this isn't the only thing we have. We have a lot, but we want to create that fund balance. We want to get the technology because we're losing 30% of our water loss, which equates about $250,000. Our meters are 40, 50 years old, so they're running slower. We just had an old meter tested 3 weeks ago, and it was running at 73% at a quarter rate. So you're losing 25% of revenue there as well. So that all jumped this whole project, and that's where kind of we started, because the EPA and the IDNR, they're not coming down, or they're not going to back away. This is something coming at us. We've been given the notice of violation for having a 33% water loss. We're working diligently. We've worked with them to give them a plan of what we're doing, which is, for lack of a better term, keeping them off our back. But we are actually making a good faith effort and trying to improve what we're doing and how we operate.
Yeah, my question was because of our infrastructure and everything. I'm looking at the three options that we have.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the best option to start taking care of some of the infrastructure that we have? Because deferred maintenance, a lot of people don't know this, deferred maintenance means more money in the future. You stage once, you take care of it, and you take care of everything at that one time. But if you only do it halfway, you're coming back again, the costs have gone up.
Our building, the squad cars, the ambulance, I could tell you how many times we failed to vote on something and the cost went
And also, we think,
I better say this.
And we are getting there. I mean, we are creating a sustainable future. And that's really what we're trying to do and set ourselves up for success, because we're living with past decisions.
so if we can take care of this, let's say in the next few years, a little quicker, we're actually saving money in the long term, because it's because we can take care of certain things. If we don't make that effort, it's gonna cost more money in the future.
For sure.
I know that Tim just touched on this a little bit, but as far as maybe a little bit of a education on what actually could hypothetically happen if we choose not to do this. I mean, let's say that.
Worst case?
Yeah, just, I just want everybody to know that, you know, trouble can cause, absolutely. I mean.
I have lived through this experience when the IDNR situation was not taken care of, or Department of Public Works or whatever from the state. They come in, they force you to bond it up, and it might give you a option to bond it through one of their programs, which brings in a bond a little lower than some of the others, but you're gonna have to pay for it. Will have, it'll be a tax imposed, and there will be a case brought against you in court, and it's not a pretty
So the
situation.
village is at severe risk.
I've seen
Without-
conservatorship of water systems,
Yeah. there's
where
that too.
they take away your water system from you, and they will run it. You don't own it
The
anymore.
state.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and I hate to say, like I said, I don't wanna be that person, but I've seen, there's places in Cook County that are under conservatorship right now.
I would just like people to know
I understand.
what could happen and how dangerous it is for the village to ignore this or to put this on the back burner.
Understand.
Your point, trustee, is very valid, but I also don't want anybody to think that we're like a year away from conservatorship. We're not that close. What we're doing is we're setting up a water master plan to give to the EPA. We've done it the last 4 years, a lot, showing them where we're at, and then obviously COVID hit, so that just shut everything down. But now we're getting back into it, and, you know, our representative from Baxter Woodman that helps us deal with the DNR and the EPA is huge. No, it's Brian, not you.
Those examples for lead, and that goes, all this goes hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing our due diligence, so they're not after us per se, but it could come after us, and just the loss in it, we'll get the revenues back, hopefully, this, and nobody has a magic bulb to say that, but hopefully this goes to fruition and we do gain more money out of it, which we should. Just in losses.
There's also a fundamental fairness issue where if you have meters that are recording at different rates, the people that happen to have the higher rating meters are paying a disproportionate share compared to the people that have the older meters that aren't working as well. Basically, the people that have the accurate meters are subsidizing the ones that aren't. That's correct.
I'll be the first to say that my meter hasn't been changed in 30 years, that I know of.
I know it's first.
I agree with you 100%, because I use me as an example all the time.
Yeah.
My meter is at least 40 years old. I think it's closer to 50.
I have first and second tiers.
Mine could possibly be that old, I've only owned my
For
house
sure.
for 30 years, so I
Just
don't.
knowing the type of meter that I have,
Yeah.
it's not one of these iPros.
And, you know, the thing that we talked about in the last one is, when we start this program, something we do is we have you all have your meters changed first, so you can be proponents and representatives for the village. To any resident who doesn't want to have it done, you can say how easy it is. So that's something we do. But also, just to add on, I think as you guys start to work on the ordinances and things like that, the big decision you need to make is the consequence for people who don't want to have the meter changed out. Many communities are writing in the ordinance that if you do not allow the village to come in and change your meter, we will shut your water off. So it's as far as you guys want to take it, but I think that's the big discussion. So how the process works is we'll send out mailers, we'll we'll send a call, and then we'll send out a red card, and then the decision is, if somebody's still after 3 letters, a door hanger, doesn't want to call and make an appointment, what's the next step to get this done? So that's definitely a discussion for a different day, but I just want to put that in your guys' mind.
So, but technically, there's no choice. People, oh, I don't want that one, so we just won't do
You
it.
just
It's
shut
a
it off.
matter
The
of-
choice is
of
you either
giving
comply or it gets turned off.
them the opportunity to do it voluntarily.
Yeah, I mean, we have some, how would you call it, recalcitrant people, Debbie, is that the word?
Yeah, that's a good word.
They don't want to cooperate now, you're not gonna have 100%
No,
compliance
absolutely
ready
not.
easily. You never do. So you're gonna have some enforcement issues. Some cases, you know, I mean, I've been brought in on these cases before. That's pretty extreme when you gotta get to that level and bring people to court, but it does happen.
Sure.
Tim, in your opinion, what option do you think would work best for the village?
I recommend option 1. I think it's the best one that fits our village to be successful.
I just had mine replaced. So I have a new meter.
Mhm.
It was a piece of cake, this guy came in, but my water meter is very accessible. That's not the case with some.
Can I ask why option 1 for you? Because option 2 is you're paying what you're using, correct?
One and
Right.
two. 1 and 2 are both pay for what you use. 3 is just an increased debt service fee.
Or pay more for what you use, I guess?
3 scares me a little.
Three is one of those that it's hard to explain and hard to do the PR on it.
Sure.
And it's hard to quantify that. Option, Tim said, option 1 and 2 are very similar.
Well, 3 works out for people who end up using a lot, they save money on it. Yeah, so like I have a big family in a pool, so I'd end up probably saving money on option 3 more so than a single person apartment.
You have a lot of girls.
Yeah.
And I have a small household,
Yeah.
so I would be paying for his water.
Yeah.
And that's why, 1 and 2 are, you're paying volumetrically for what you use. Option 3 just gives you guys that money from everybody. Doesn't matter how much you use, so.
I think to answer your question, the best way I can answer it is option 1, it's only an $8 debt service fee added to the 27 instead of 10. It is $9.56, but I also believe wholeheartedly that you should pay for the water you get, or that you use. So I think volumetrically, it's better to increase that, because then somebody who doesn't have all girls, might have all boys and they all take 1 shower a month. Honest to God, but, that is where I really believe it's an easier explanation to the residents.
Right.
And I really think, we try to do this, we've talked about the education, we've talked about committee meetings or town hall meetings or something. I think we put this presentation on and break it down as we go forward.
Yeah, education is the key, and the mailers, I thought was very good. People said they have read it. It starts to educate, and the more we educate them.
And I think the more too that people understand the way the economics of it work too, that, when they don't pay or something like that, the village isn't paying for it. When the village pays for it, it's not some, random person, it's their neighbors. It's not coming from somewhere else. That means it's the share of their neighbors having to pay for it. It doesn't come from some other fund. It doesn't come from someone else. It comes from the share of payments of their neighbors that have to pay for it.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's the thing. So it's a subsidy, it's subsidized then by someone else, right? Because we can't take the money from some of their
Right,
funding.
and that's a very, very valid point. Being an enterprise fund,
Yeah.
it's designed to be user funded. Just like the gas company or just like the electric company, water's the same way. It really has to be self-funded.
Yeah, I don't think people get that. I think it's like certain other departments where, if we don't have enough for the basketball program or whatever, take it out of the, don't.
Fire department.
What? Yeah, take it out of the fire department or whatever, it's not.
They're protected.
It's the water fund is more gonna have to come from that, you have to raise, the rate, so
And we've
if
been,
these people aren't paying for their water, then someone else has to pay more for it, basically.
it is a big jump. I'm not gonna lie about that. Like you say, I could be number one. I got an old meter, I know I'm gonna pay more. I know it's gonna be a big jump, I know it's gonna be a headache, I know no matter what we say and what we do, it's gonna be a shock to people. Because even if we have, 6 town hall meetings between now and January, and explain it, only the ones that wanna know about it are gonna come. The ones who don't know about it or don't wanna know about it, and then we're still gonna field those phone calls. And I don't have a problem explaining to them, but the biggest thing we have to make, we want people to understand, is we are literally the lowest around. We haven't done our due diligence and increased small over the last 30 years. We're making some jumps. However, other communities, and this isn't just on us, people like Zion did a water rate study, and it showed that they were $5 short per 1,000 gallons. So they went from 6 to like 10, or no, it was like 5 to 10, and then now I'm hearing rumors they're going to 12. There's other areas, Lindenhurst. You'd think the closer to the lake you are, it would be cheaper, and it just isn't that way anymore. It was that way when the water district started, but it's just not that way anymore. We have aging infrastructure. We still have 16 hydrants in the ground, operational from 100 years ago.
I look at this, that it's gonna be painful, no matter what option we're gonna take. Let's get over with the pain, let's get the surgery done, and let's get it done, and let's do it the right way so that we can survive. I'll tell you right now, if you live in Utah or Las Vegas, water is at a premium out there. I see what my son goes through. He lives in Utah. And 109-degree temperatures every day. And you go to Arizona, you turn on the cold water tap, it's warm. It's warm water coming from the, from the irrigation ditches and everything they got there. So we have the largest freshwater supply in the world, the Great Lakes. Let's use it properly, let's do it properly, let's get over with the pain, because we've deferred this long enough, because we've put it back, and right now, we gotta come up and do it the right way. Had we done this incrementally for the last 20 years, we wouldn't be doing it this way right
It
now.
wouldn't be this big of a jump, but.
That's right.
Right, which is why we are recommending the 3% annual increase.
I agree.
I think if we make our decision tonight and we go forward with this, I do think, Baxter Woodman, they're gonna take off on their side about getting the bid out and the RFP going. We really need to start the education process and start social media, in-person meetings, discussions, committee meetings, however we want to approach it. I think we want to start getting the word out.
Absolutely.
I want to.
Once Bob writes the ordinance.
I want to point out too that none of us has ever taken any increase on anything lightly, and most of us have been sitting on this board for a really long time.
Well, we never want to.
We
as a
never
board.
wanted
I said that
to.
earlier when I said, but it's
true.
a conglomerate, it's a board.
We
decision.
really
It's
never
a total
wanted to
decision.
do that. So now it's kind of unfortunately catching up with us that we didn't do it because we cared and we didn't want the residents to have to pay more than they want. And we still don't want that, and it's only going to get worse if we don't act now. And I just wanted the residents to recognize that, we tried as hard as we could to hold off as long as we could, but I don't think it's possible anymore.
We did ask, when they do the RFP, that we involve, obviously, as we buy our meters, it's gonna be a big, people putting it in, and they have to, the way they explained it to me is there's certain programming techniques, but we are gonna allow smaller plumbing contractors that are local from our area to get involved in the buy too.
You'd like to see that, absolutely.
Because they live in town, and if they want a piece they'll have the opportunity to do that, because there are several around this area, so.
Sure. And it's just, Jack just started working on an RFP this week, so, I reviewed it. We're working on that local contractor language, that, we want to make sure that local contractors are involved and local contractors given a fair shot, to bid on this, but also to do some work, so.
Mark, I have a question.
Yeah.
You might not be able to answer it, but.
I'll try.
When this is finalized, a community our size, how long do you think it would take to replace them all?
Our plan is 3 years.
3 years.
We would split it, we would do a chunk of replacements this summer, or summer of '25. And that's what we would use the ARPA funds for. And so then the remaining meters would be split in half, and half would be done in the summer of '26, and half in the summer of '27. So.
A couple things to go with that, I don't mean to interrupt you, but a couple things to go along with that is, we're gonna start on the east side where most of our older meters are.
I would say that's the best thing to do. Yes.
We have 8% of our 2,300 water users that already have the iPearls in. So those
we
have to
switched
be
over.
broken. So we're not replacing those, you
I just have to have that thing put over.
They'll put that thing over your touchpad on the outside of your house right now, they'll program your meter,
Right.
and they're in and out and.
So for the 143 people who have smart points, there's no inside appointment. They can just do it outside the house.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
No problem.
Any other questions for Mark? Extra one? Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Promise done.
Move on to number 2.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the ratification.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Which option does the board?
Do we want to say it's just,
Oh.
so you get the consensus of option
What's
one?
everybody's tune? Option 1? Option 1?
That's the option I like.
Okay, yeah.
Do we need to make a motion for Bob to write that?
This is just a presentation.
Okay.
So,
Write that
but option 1 would be the one.
For those sewer onlys too?
No, we don't have that.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so number 2 is a motion to approve the ratification of expenditures related to paving of Courses 12th Street, totaling $20,950, which will be paid from the fund code 13-4230.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
It's just we had an old line that we had to replace.
Yeah.
We
It's
started
part of
to work on it.
paving.
It's more than we could handle, so.
Yeah. Roll call?
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Motion carried.
Third item is a motion to approve the final payment of Village Hall roof project in the amount of $129,510.
Second.
All right, just a thing I want to say, this was all a grant money, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is the final payment, but
This would
this money we got, we just.
Correct.
Right.
This was a $250,000 grant, the project was $258,800, so $8,800.
We had to pay.
Is only what we have to pay. Once this check goes out, I get to complete the paperwork with the state, and then, the state is awfully quick, but we'll get our money somehow. So yes, $8,000 to replace this.
I just like to let people know.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, roll call?
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Motion carried.
Fourth item is a motion to approve the contract to host another wrestling event with the POWW Entertainment on October 19th, 2024, with a financial impact of $2,500.
Second.
Okay.
The last one went off good, the people like it,
Oh.
people come, and so I can't see any
I
reason
think
not
it's gonna
to.
fill up.
Yeah,
It's gonna fill.
people enjoy it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
get a lot of people from out of town. I mean, we get a lot of people from out of state. I mean, we're talking
A lot of them where they're
Michigan,
from, yes.
Yeah. So,
It's
and
amazing.
they spend quite a bit of time here, so I think
Truly
it's all
amazing.
around.
It's fun. It is a lot of fun. I'll be to some raffle. All right, roll call.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
All right.
Motion carried.
Final item is a motion to approve a new special event. It's a freak show and tell, Saturday, November 16th, 2024, with a financial impact of $750. Ticket sales will have a 75-25.
Second.
Discussion on that.
So the name is deceiving. If you look at the brochure, and I know we're gonna be posting it all over Facebook, it's almost like a magician, like a Las Vegas style show. I mean, it's got like fire eating. I mean, it's more of like a Cirque du Soleil with one individual.
And it's 18 and above, right? That's,
Yes.
yeah.
There's a
So-
poster right outside the window here, by the village hall window.
Yeah.
With a QR code where you go to the website and see.
I mean, he's performing down in Chicago all the time, so I mean, it's a really big show that's coming here, so I think that's really something to be excited about.
Looking forward to that, but my wife's out.
I know the name is,
What is it?
I keep saying, you gotta put a lot of communication behind it.
Yeah, I know.
To get the
I'm
word
glad you
out.
brought that up. All right.
75, 25, split 75 to the village, 25 to.
Other way.
Other way?
And then you get all the food and alcohol.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're just trying to bump up some of their.
Okay. Any other questions? Roll call.
Whedon,
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
McCarthy.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
White.
Motion carried. Thank you, trustee Marabella, and I'll go to village administrator's report.
Just real quick, and I know everyone's shocked I'm talking during the meeting. Two things. Something really exciting. We're going to be, in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be going to the International Council of Shopping Centers, their Chicago show. In preparation for that, we'll be launching our economic development website that we built. And we're going to go out there and see what the commercial world has to offer for Winthrop Harbor and get our name out. So once that website goes live, I'll email the link to everyone and you'll see it posted. Staff has put a lot of work into it, and we're pretty excited about how it came out. With economic development in mind, today we had a very productive meeting with Representative Joyce Mason and our key businesses here in town, which was Skipper Buds and the Marina, and we also had ID&R. We had the opportunity to tour all the amenities, $75 million enhancements that they did to the state park. And we also advocated for the needs for both the harbor and for Skipper Buds for some dredging projects that are much needed there that's affecting their operations. On another note, not as exciting as economic development, in the individual conversations I've had with several of the board members, staff is attempting to work with the landfill. Ever since December, there's been a significant spike in odor complaints. We've been working now with the city of Zion. As of yesterday, we also talked to Zion Benton Township. And we're closely working with Swalco to work with them to get into compliance with their host agreement and provide some relief to the residents that are affected by the odor issue. We still haven't identified what exactly is happening and why that significant spike, but staff is going to continue to work with them and trying to hopefully get some resolution. So that's my report.
Thank you, Dave. I also like to say, I want to thank Dave for putting together that meeting with Joyce, Skipper Buds and the Marina and ID&R. It was a good meeting today. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Joyce is, once again, she's going to help us in any way she can. She's been a gold mine for us in Springfield, and she said that she needs to get this dredging done. It's pretty bad. They gave a pretty bad, if nothing's done in 2 years, boats won't be able to come in and out of the marina. So she's going to be working with ID&R. Matter of fact, she'll probably call them today, or definitely call them tomorrow. So she's amazing. So I just want to let everybody know that. So we move on to public comments. Let's start down with Trustee Whitmore.
Public comment.
Oh, public comment?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who'd like to address the board? Sorry about that. Just need your name and your address. I didn't think there was anybody, so that's why I just... Oh, we do?
I got one too.
Oh, you go first,
All right.
Well, the gentleman that was here, Mark, my name's Mark. Sawbrook and like 12 Winds Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that gentleman, he was talking about the lower that they want the MZI, Jet MZI reader, they're gonna be put on there from the census, correct? So, you know, it says, well, how much was it, $160,000 for the tower? As the,
What?
how much was it to build the tower? It's like something.
Yeah,
Oh,
he said like 160 something.
did you guys look into, getting in contact with ComEd or the other CDs, where you can tie into their system at a lower cost, and you can get the read right back to your computer right through that?
Correct.
Did you looked into it?
Correct. Yes. So we don't need their towers.
Exactly.
We have our towers.
So you have the towers, but
Correct.
what I'm saying is, with the cost of building and adding to that infrastructure, what is the cost where you can tie into, or you can just read off of their meters and get it sent to your system the same way?
Oh, you're talking about, yeah, like reading off of the ComEd meters.
Yes.
That
You
way.
can.
I
you
think
can read
one of
off
the options was that.
Right.
One of the
That was
companies
the
did.
Badger,
Yeah.
which was the most expensive.
No, if you go through, there's other things where you can run it right off of the system, the census, MZI, they all tie into the same thing. There's other things to look into.
I'll absolutely ask them. I'll call them tomorrow morning and ask them about what you're
That's all I
saying.
gotta say.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
Because I know exactly what you're talking about, I just don't have the answer for you. Okay,
Yeah.
I will absolutely look it up. If you want to give me a call.
And I'll let you know.
For
I can
sure.
tell you if it works.
Yeah, I knew one of them options that it was that, like he's saying, just piggybacked out and then used their stuff, but what you're
Right.
saying is something totally different, which he's
So,
gonna look into.
you know what, so, I work for another utility company,
Yeah.
I don't like to actually put out who I work for, but when we went through the system, 8 years ago. So when they put all these reads in, once we put in, they call them ERPs, electronic reads, so we went around to all the communities, and from up here, Lake County, all the way down to Winnetka. A lot of customers, you get customers that get nervous because you're putting electronic reads in their house and they're worried about the radio waves. That might, you're gonna get a couple of those.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying. Just saying, but over time, when they enter these, electronic reads, we put them at 100 hertz. But until we got the whole system in place, it was like a 6-year project. Now all it took is, we took the truck, drive around, wake them all up to 500.
Right.
Now we're going off of, now we're utilizing other infrastructures that they don't have to pay for, at a shorter cost.
Right.
That's all I was trying to say.
No, that's good, thank you.
Thank you for the information. We will absolutely, you never know. We
I don't know, I
work
just-
out, but we appreciate it.
Hi, Brian Ridgehill. I'm a resident of Antioch, not make sure we're all good there. I'm going to read this, so I don't miss anybody, but I wrote up a quick little thing here. So, hello, my name is Rich Hill, and I'm the owner of Harbor Cafe. On August 17th, we at the Brew House Plaza, which includes the businesses of Living Full Kombucha, Touch of Class Dog Training, and Harbor Cafe, located at 811 Sheridan Road, hosted a block party. Being the first time we put an event like this together, we invited a few of our neighboring Winthrop Harbor businesses to join us. The Sweet Stop, Roma Pizza, JC's Barbecue, and Rod Henry Ice Cream, Happy Faces Painting, to join us for the experience, this first time event. The results were outstanding. Businesses and attendees got to know and meet each other, and make new friends. The local bands that we had were a big hit, along with my personal favorite being the Dogtown show, which just became like anybody who had the puppies there came up and did a little church thing with it. That was great. The feedback from the attendees from social media was highly positive. So we here would like to thank Mayor Bruno for personally helping with the cost of the tent. We really appreciate that. Thank you very much. We appreciate that tent kept us dry from all the weather. We had a funky day. The village administrator, Dave and Sanjay, thank you guys very much for all you guys did to put that event together, whether getting permits and working with the state to help us share it and everything. All the trustees who were present and took photos and sent all those things in, and the village for keeping up with the Facebook. And then we had a lot of people show up the day of that didn't really know about it because they saw it happening on Facebook. We'd like to thank the fire department for showing up and being there for public safety all day, and the police department. Not only did the fire department, the police department, and all the trustees come out and talk to people just about, everything. It was great. It was a lot of people meeting and talking together, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. But we just wanted to say a big, huge thank you to all of you, and especially the attendees and the residents. And we're looking forward to doing it next year and growing it even larger, including a lot more businesses. So thank you very much. Any questions on anything?
I have heard nothing but great responses, and I wish I could have been there. It was our kid's birthday party, and I was trying to wrap it up really fast, and nobody was listening. And I heard nothing but just amazing praises by the event. So,
Excellent.
kudos
Yeah,
to
everyone
everybody.
cleaned up. It was, at the end of the event, I found 2 pieces of garbage on the floor. It was
That's
insane.
awesome.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, you could tell by the roadway and stuff, but I don't think there was even issues with, because when you say close the road and you say close Sheridan, but it was one way, but I thought it was ingenious and it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out very well. Everybody.
And it gave you more room. which
Yes.
is the ultimate goal.
And all the businesses did well, and it got the name out for everybody. So it's a good thing. Roma didn't have any slowdown in any of their business for the day, so that was great.
That's
All
awesome.
right. Looking forward next year. We got some big plans.
Nice.
Thank you.
I just want to let you know, Rich, sorry I couldn't make it, I was out of town.
Oh, I know.
But I'll be there next year.
Yeah, we're gonna plan, Dave and I already talked, we're gonna plan up that, and I got a couple other fun things I wanna bring in too. So, we have some fun things happening.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, now I go on finished business.
Perfect. Well, we have a lot going on. So we have our Touch a Truck / Family Day, September 14th, starting at 3 o'clock. We have our, every year we have our Touch a Truck, and then that's also going to include now music, fireworks, food, and then a ton of different child activities throughout the day. So definitely come out. We have the Monster Mash Dash, which is Corey's project, and that's Sunday, October 5th. That's going to be a fun run, walk, 5K with a costume contest, and then you can always pay to not run, which is usually what I do. And then we have our Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 26th. And then we also have two different events dedicated towards Winthrop Harbor Police, just so we can help provide funding for Class A uniforms. So we have trivia night at the Moose Lodge, and that's October 18th, and then a spaghetti dinner on November 9th. Then we also have the 2 events that you discussed, and that's the wrestling event on October 19th and the freak show and tell on November 16th. So lots of activities. Definitely go on our Facebook to see all of it.
Thank you, Trustee Whitmore. Trustee Braden?
I want to congratulate Lieutenant Howard. What a fabulous advancement for him, and we welcome him. I want to thank the Lions for not only the care at the pond, but I also want to congratulate them for the dedication and the hard work that they put into the village. We appreciate that. And Rich, I love the block party. Had a great time. I spent many hours, as you know, and the whole time I did. I think I ran home twice, but they were quick trips. But talking to everybody was amazing, and seeing everybody come in, watching them drive by, looking at them, rubbernecking, and then pulling over to come in, and that was just an amazing time. So I just want to thank you for doing that for the village, because it was a lot of work, and I know I've done something like that myself, and it's a lot of work, so we appreciate it. And I'm super glad to hear that you intend to do it next year, and I will volunteer to help in any way that I can.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Trustee Braden. Trustee McCarthy?
Hayden, did you have a public comment before I go? I saw you stand.
I was gonna get it right at the end.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't.
You come on up.
Yeah. I saw you get up.
Yeah, I didn't know he was.
I have some ancient business and some new business.
Okay.
64 years ago today, my dear mother put me in her '52 Chevrolet, takes me to the Navy recruiter and says, go in there and make something of yourself. She drives off. There wasn't opening. But 4 months later, I was selected to go aboard the USS Enterprise, one of the first crew members to go aboard. I got my top secret clearance, and I won't go into details, okay? But in December, my wife had a stroke. The paramedics were there within 5 minutes. They get her to the hospital in 30 minutes. And physically, she's doing okay. But we won't dwell on that. When you call 911, policemen are the first one through the door. And then you got the paramedics there. And thank you. I wish I could think all out of it. 3 weeks ago, I was honored to go on Lake County, honor flight. And both airports, as we went through, the people would get out of their seats and come up and thank us. And we started it on Sunday when we got back. Started to get on the bus, and there was more policemen there than you could believe. There was at least one policeman there for every member of the veteran. And I noticed there's one policeman there that was from Winthrop Harbor. I might see. Now, I know that he probably missed a few meals waiting for us up there. So I have cooked up him one of my special quarter pounders. It's no fat, 750 calories, just like McDonald's. And not too many people get those. So if you could open it up and show the people what you have.
There's 100% fat-free quarter pounder, 750 calories.
And it does have a $1 quarter. Thank you for being there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'll congratulate Lieutenant Howard as well, and I want to thank the Lions for the pier. I've been out there, it was nice. Thanks to Rich and everyone who was part of the Summer Jam. My family got to head out there. We were part of the, I'm sorry, not the Summer Jam, the block party. We were at the Summer Jam because my wife at Community 365, I was voluntold to be at that since she was one of the organizers of the Summer Jam, which was hugely successful too. They did a great job. It's interesting, some of them, when they first realized it was the same day, they're like, why 2 events on the same day? And I'm like, what's the matter? You only get so many Saturdays in the summer, you know, what are you going to do? There's going to be events on the same day. But it was great. They, the police were out at that, fire department, rec department, school district, Scott, and a number of volunteers and staff from the rec department. It was a lot of getting ready for the school year activities at the Summer Jam. So it was a really cool event there. The kids had a great time. So we were there all morning, and then my family had a little rest, and then we came and hung out at the, block party for the rest of the time, so it was a great little event. Great little Saturday, so it was, you know, got both events in, so it was great to have them there, it all worked out. David, I thought he was gonna be showing the, website, that was the original plan. So since he didn't do that, I'm going to, ask all of you to make sure that you go to the link that he sends. He's gonna send that link, right?
Yes.
The EDC, website, so check that out, because it's, really great, a lot of work put into that, to put that together, before we go to the ICSC. Some great, images and information, about, our amazing, village here. I'm really excited, to see, you know, what we can do with that, because really what it shows is, what we have here in the department, that's potential, and that's, you know, what we really are is potential. And what I think of as, you know, I used to walk, years ago, I used to walk a lot down in the trails, down by the marina, you know, just across from kind of where the beer garden is, where the playground is, and I'd walk out to the little beaches that were there, and then I got away from that, because of work or whatever, and I didn't realize all the work they had done to kind of clear that and make the large beach there to the south, and I didn't realize, you know, all the work they had done until I was at an EDC meeting, and, you know, I'm looking at the overhead, and I'm like, oh my goodness, is that what it's, you know, like there, you know, where the turnaround is and all that beach? I'm like, you know, is that really all cleared like that? So, the other day I drove down there and walked out, and I'm like, holy cow, like, I didn't know this had all, you know, been cleared out, and then we have all this beach, like, right there, and I started walking down there, and all I can think of is the huge percentage of people that live in our town that have absolutely no idea that that's down there. I mean, it's, the vast majority of people don't know that just a short drive down the street, you know, down that little road, and a short walk out there, that beach and that view is there. I mean, they don't, if you ask them, they have no idea that view, that is there, you know, and that is just pure potential for us, and we just have to work to, you know, to let people know and market it, and that's what I think, you know, that website is all about, and, our, you know, the work we're gonna put in, with ICFC and that David's putting in, so I'm really excited about that, and, looking forward to, Trustee Braden and, myself and Bob and Sandra working with David, and hopefully, getting some people interested in that, so just big thanks to David and the work he's putting in there, and, looking forward to doing more with that, so, and all the other events that are going on. I was really, excited at everything, Trustee, Whitmore was talking about, so. Sorry I was talking so much. I know Superintendent Yergarter loves when I talk a lot.
Thank you, Trustee Yergarter. Trustee Weiss.
Thank you. I want to congratulate Lieutenant Howard on his promotion, and that's really great. And the block party was fantastic. I really liked it. I like blocking off half of that Sheridan Road. People looked and stopped by, and I mean, the vendors were great, the music was great. It was just a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it next year. So that's all I have to say.
I had a phone call, said, are you blocking off the entire Sheridan Road?
A lot of people said entire, but.
And I said, no, we're just doing the eastbound lane of northbound traffic. Not the inside lane or the southbound lane. Oh, I thought you were doing the whole Sheridan Road.
Maybe we should.
I said, next year. No. Like, well, I'm glad you clarified that.
I'm only going one direction.
All right, thank you, Trustee Weiss. Trustee.
Yeah, so congratulations, Tyler. I think you guys need to come up with something like that every month, because you see the crowd get it. I know they dissipate, but it's nice to see fresh faces in here.
Well, I'm start doing that at the very end of the meeting.
But, so we keep them captivated. And the Lions, of course, the Lions are at our events. They've done amazing job for us. And all these guys have been here a long time from the Easter egg hunt and everything, so congratulations to that too. Fall ball is underway, school is underway, so just be careful, like I said. My daughter's attending the big school now, so, I gotta go that way, which I could just walk down the street before, but, so, just, they're coming across 9th Street, just be careful. And I know we always have a good police presence over there, which is nice, just because people need to know they need to slow down. Kids don't pay attention and stuff, it's just, kids are kids. You know, when you get out of school, it's, the last thing you're thinking about is to be safe, you're just wanting to talk and be with your friends and get home. And other than that, our public works seem to be doing okay. We haven't had any major complaints, so knock on wood, we're doing good. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Trustee Paul. All right, if nothing else, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Roll call.
Breeden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
Karski.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Tyson.
Right.